going on? Give me just a second, getting everything set up. All right. I think we are almost there. All right. And if you're in here, especially right now before I tweet this out and get everything going, you should come up on stage. I don't care who you are. Come talk. Amazing. There we go. I need to share this in the Discord real quick as well. Dude, I'm sorry for everyone here that I'm running late. Dude, I've been so busy today just trying to knock out random errands. I swear every single weekend I've got a trip through July and then August as well. So I've got one later today that I'm leaving on. And I am not finished packing. I actually just started laundry. I also realized it was the last day today to get fitted for my tux for my brother's wedding. So I had to go to Men's Warehouse and knock that out. And that took forever. So a couple things that ended up pushing me back, but we're here. We're started. That's all that matters. But yeah. Oh, wait. Is that Wonka himself in the crowd? Dude, a living legend that has returned to grace us with his presence from the isolation of vacation? The meme lord, the master of the meme? I just want a reaction out of him. Even like he doesn't even have to come up on stage. I'll even take just a any type of reaction from Wonka to acknowledge that he.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Have you ever just gotten like butterflies in your stomach whenever you run into a famous person and you're kind of speechless? That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, that's how I feel when Kelly invites me on stage. So,
dude, how's vacation been, man?
great.
Where'd you end up going
honestly,
off to? Whatever you were doing looked beautiful. Like unless that was a stock image that you took from Google. I mean, either way, like I like the vibes.
No, that was a real picture. That was a semi docs or whatever. I'm down in Sri Lanka visiting family. So
That's awesome, man. Happy to hear it. Is the girlfriend with you?
no. I'm alone. Just 2 weeks of break. Kind of a holiday away from everyone, just visiting family and friends down here. And yeah, haven't even been active on Twitter or on with the LedgArt family or the Room 110. So I've been missing you guys, but I'll be back next week. So yeah,
I feel that, man. But I mean, dude, occasionally that's got to feel nice, right?
yeah,
Like being
yeah,
able to take those breaks. Like it's healthy to be able to take a step back sometimes.
yeah.
What has
I
been the
mean,
best part about it?
the holidays or being away from all the Twitter and Discord.
I mean, both, right? Like because being away from that is part of the holiday, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the first time since the launch of Wonky Stonks that I have been away from Twitter and the Discord for so long that I haven't checked the float price, I haven't checked out what NFTs are minting, and yeah, and I feel like it's a break that everyone should take because I feel really refreshed, and I'm ready to be back next week. Yeah.
Well, we're ready to have you back, man. My feed has not been the same without all the memes constantly popping up on it. I really missed them.
I
You think I'm
appreciate it.
joking,
Thank
but it's
you.
true.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Well, Cube, what's going on, man? Are you on the road today, or are you?
Funny you ask. I'm currently in my backyard, assembling a trampoline, getting the ring built.
Dude, assembling a trampoline? That sounds like a disaster
It's
waiting to
awful.
happen.
It's awful. I've been working on getting the ring structure together for about an hour, and I think I got it. Definitely need to up the liability insurance on our house with me assembling this. But no, good to be back. Was out in DC talking about the plight of the American farmer, and missed you there the other day in Spaces. Was kind of bummed about that, but yeah, happy we're all getting together here.
Miss you as well, man. I knew it had to have been for a good reason, but I enjoyed vibing with the Room 110 fam. It was a good time. They held the fort down.
Your hidden talent was very, very interesting. I can't believe I actually found that actual photo of you online. It was pretty remarkable. Some really good gumshoe work I did. But yeah, man. And so just chilling with the Wonky fam, vibing, seeing what's going on, getting some good price action in the crypto space. You did steal a minute chart from me with your massive sweep yesterday. Got to give you a shout out on that.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, at the same time, there was a solid like 45 minutes that it took me to figure out how to get the transaction unstuck before I could do anything, though. You had the opportunity. I know LST swept in there for a few during that interim because there was, one account that I guess decided to capitulate all of his wonkies at once, like half beneath the floor. So I said, fuck it, and just tried to sweep for those of y'all who don't know. And then I went in, and as I was doing it, I had a stuck transaction from the night before, which was like a void transaction. I don't know why. I guess whenever I submitted I was buying a pudgy, and I guess OpenSea somehow or MetaMask duplicated my transaction for that purchase. So one of them it filled, and then the other was just kind of stuck in the void. So I had no idea what to do, right? Like, so I went on the Discord. They kind of helped me out. There were some advanced settings where I guess you reset the nonce. You send a new transaction to your wallet, resetting the nonce, to the nonce of the transaction that was stuck. And basically what that does is it overwrites the stuck transaction with the new transaction so that you're able to, clear it from your cache. Which I was clueless to all this before I did it. So, through the process, learned something new. It was kind of fun.
So you rehashing that, I mean, that's something you just got to experience to figure the hell out. And I don't know, I think that's another thing. What's really cool about our community is everybody willing to share information and then just walk people through stuff, even somebody such as yourself. So
yeah, man,
pretty cool
because
deal.
it's one of those weird things that just doesn't happen that often if you think about it. Because like I've had it happen before where I legitimately did have insufficient funds or something, and that was the reason it was stuck. And okay, in that situation, you just add ETH, but it's like no, I still had plenty of ETH in the wallet. It said that the gas fee cancel was $7, and it was like you have insufficient funds in your wallet, and I had plenty sufficient funds to be able to cover that. So it's just a really weird error that I've never encountered before. But, again, like one of those things I actually appreciate it because even though what I said earlier is relatively simple, like just the verbiage sounds smart. So I'm happy enough with that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like Chinese to me, whatever the hell you were saying. So somebody's going to have to write a post if I ever run into that. But man, you got some really good looking stonks out of that deal.
Dude, no joke. There were several in there that I'm a big fan of that I plan on, holding on for a minute. I'm going through actually my collection right now, and I'm seeing which stonks I'm going to give away today.
How many are you up to?
I don't know, man. I think like 250 or something. Like that I have, and I've probably given away over 50 or 60.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think right now though, at the moment, like what I have, 250. And then, by the way, for those of y'all who don't know and haven't been around it from the beginning, these aren't stonks that like I minted to my wallet from the get go, even though it was a free mint. Like I bought all these. Yeah, it's not something that I bought them the same way and I hold them the same way as anybody else. So, except for the difference is I guess they're semi locked as far as the sale. Like I'm not going to sell them. I'll give them away, but I'm not going to sell them.
Yeah, you've had the occasional burn. You've had the occasional massive sweep, maybe seltzered up, hard seltzered up a little bit. You just come in out of nowhere and just get the broom out.
just when the time is right, you got to break it out. Like sometimes I like to just, it's like, okay, if there's a little bit of a lull in action and, you can tell there's one wallet that has some really weak hands and that they want to like just unload their bags quickly. You can typically tell by their, the blockchain is very public. So you can typically tell those type of guys, and it's like, okay, if they've got like more than one and they're sitting there for several days, like they're typically going to bring it down cheaper and cheaper. So I'm like, hell, why not let it slide a little bit and I'll just scoop it up then, like let it happen. I don't give a shit.
Well, that's what I noticed. That the one particular wallet, definitely not, sell shaming here, but that one, I think LST got that red and blue gradient. He started listing all the stuff for like 0.1, then incrementally kept bringing it down like over the next 3 days, and then that's when he came in.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with it too, right? Like at the end of the day, like, hey, the guy got what he wanted. Happy for the guy. He had held for a while. Like he got his quick sale. Like he accomplished what he wanted from it, and it worked out for me too. I was like, okay, I'll just stack a bunch more cheap stocks. Like it is what it is. But it's part of the game theory.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. The one I was really wanting, because I can't believe I don't have one of these yet, is a damn minute chart. And he had the minute chart listed at the bottom of the bottom. It wasn't particularly sexy in my eyes. I'm a fan of the gradients and the colors and areas and Bollingers. But I'm still missing that elusive minute chart. And then 80s comes in out of nowhere on his sabbatical and snipes a 9 trader.
Yeah, I won't forget him for that one. But by the way, I can't see because I'm not co-hosting, but Vitin is, or Vidin, that is EaselBot. It is not a bot. So
Easel's on there. Easel.
Okay.
By the way, whenever he comes, Easel's on there, and I don't think he ever sent me. If he did, then I just missed it. I'm going to send him a DM right now, and I probably missed it. I never sent him his stonk from last week. So I need to send that to him still because I don't know if he ever sent me his ETH address.
Yeah,
so I need to get that still. I haven't forgotten.
There we go. What's up, Easel?
Oh, this is going to be my account now because I'm going to make it a little more human and try to keep the other stuff separate. How you guys doing?
Oh, Easel. Okay, I see. Yeah. You said Easel here. Easel, DM, I'm sending you right now, DM me your ETH address because I don't think I ever, and correct me if I'm wrong now, but I don't think I ever sent you the stonk last week.
No, I didn't send you the address.
I didn't think so.
I'm going to send it to you.
I was just double checking. I love you though, so I'm still going to do it.
Yeah, I
appreciate
haven't
forgotten.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
One of the best things about this space, though, is being able to hop on. Whenever you're kicking up the market spaces or whenever I'm doing that, when it's more specific to just, what's happening, like price action, broader or whatever, it just immediately dives into, the seriousness. This, you can just kind of lay back, be able to vibe, catch up, and, that's part of it, right? And it's, it's just a completely different feel. It's a relaxing way that I kind of find cathartic almost to be able to end the week. Anton, what's up, man? You had your hand up for a minute.
Hello, guys. I just want to ask a question if anyone can answer it or any idea. I just bought some NFTs like a month ago, and I was just checking my wallet on Phantom, and I just saw the only thing that is left now on my wallet is like the transactions. Any idea what has happened? Any one of you, please?
Bro, I have a feeling from what you're saying that you probably clicked a malicious link and it might have stolen your NFTs out of the wallet.
Or, Anton, if you're using MetaMask, go to your OpenSea wallet address. MetaMask, if you don't have auto NFT detection on, the stuff doesn't show up.
No, it's not on MetaMask. It's on Phantom's wallet. So, yeah. Well, I haven't checked it. I just checked it today, and like I was wondering where are my NFTs, and I just saw that one, so that's why I just wanted to mention, see if any one of you has any idea.
Maybe Solana's down.
There's also different tabs on the actual Phantom wallet. So I think when you open it, it just shows your account balance for like Solana. But if you click on one of the tabs, maybe your NFTs will show up.
I don't know. They show up, but you cannot see the picture. You can see that there is something there in the wallet, but there is no picture, for example, if I'm explaining it right. So I don't know. No idea.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm sure you're fine, man. You have to. Phantom just sucks sometimes on displaying the NFT, but click through and if you want, oh sorry, did I get rugged?
No, you're good.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, if you want, man, send DM me like the transaction of your purchase, and then we can take a look at Soul Scan and figure out what happened, if anything.
Cheers, appreciate that, guys. Thank you. Hey, Kallio, what is going on today? Why we are not seeing a pump, man?
Bro, I don't even know.
What's wrong with you?
Much.
What have you done today? And we are not seeing a pump. Come on, man, do your best. We need a pump on BTC now.
Hey, I'm fine with whatever, man. Like, we're chilling right around 24K. It is what it is. It's going to happen. Just got to, sometimes be patient, vibe out with it. Like, sometimes it's better to not have that immediate gratification and get used to that. So I'm good enough with just being here and not having massive red days, exploring new lows. So this is good enough for me.
What's going on, guys? Happy Friday.
What's going on, Bog?
Not much, man. I don't know. I'm just chilling. It is. I'm looking at that volume across the board. It's kind of dead, but I think we're gonna get to that euphoric point at some point next month. It's slowly like picking up in like solid projects, but yeah, I mean we're getting there. I still need time to get some little pudgies, and I got to get some more wonkies too before things get too ridiculous. But I'm gonna give away one of my wonkies to a penguin that doesn't have one. I'll
love that.
Yeah. So if you're a penguin in here and you don't have one, DM me and I'll give it out by the end of the space.
Love that, man. Love the cross community vibes there. I know Flip did the same thing last week. He came up and spoke, and I guess it was this week officially, but like it was last week's space, and I did it on Monday because I literally had zero. Actually, now speak of the devil, Flip just joined, but I gave it to him on Monday, and he did that exact same thing. So I love it.
Yeah, I feel like it's always like the best way to get people involved too, because it's one of those things where once you get like the first taste of something, and you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. These people are cool, and that's just how like NFTs work. But I mean, these are going to take off sooner rather than later. Just whenever things actually get bullish, it could be another year or so, but it's going to happen. It's going to meme itself to the top. It's just
will,
like,
man.
Look at it. Yeah, every other community is pretty much like dead. There's like look at the engagement, look at everything right now. It's just things are slowly kind of shifting, and this community is only going to grow for the next year or so. So by then, I think that's really like the focus for every solid project is to just try to be active and keep growing the community while you can, and we'll see what happens. That's really the most you can do.
Well, bro, I agree with you because here's my thesis, right? Like you said, two things are happening right now. One, there are a lot of communities that have been around that have just kind of completely fizzled out, right? Like, whereas we've maintained a relative homeostasis, but actually, like, as of recently, I'd say the past couple months, started to slowly pick up a little bit more traction as far as growth, right? We've had that core community that's been solid throughout the existence, and it's slowly started to, like, pick up a little bit more steam. And in the meantime, a lot of other projects that have been around from the same period of time, you just don't really see or hear much, right? And what's going to happen is with more time, it's only going to progress to where it's worse for those type of projects that have started to die out, right? And with this, again, like I'm in it for the vibes. I'm in it to meme it into existence, into greatness eventually. And like, with that, it'll eventually happen, right? As long as the voice, as long as the voice is here, just continue to remain active and, through whatever length of duration of this bear. I mean, heck, actually, the way I view it is the longer the bear market lasts, the healthier the stocks in the long run will end up being. Whether that's, another 6 months or 2 years, like at the end of it, we're going to be doing these spaces. We're going to be doing these type of things throughout the course of it. Like, and there are a lot of other projects that I'm still looking at right now that may be hanging on by a thread that aren't going to last another 2 years. So that's the way I look at it. Even if it just ends up vibing in the price range where it is, again, like the floor is not something that I've ever been worried about, right? Like it's something that I think naturally with time ends up picking up because it's, the powder keg type effect where all it really takes is the right spark in the market to be able to move with it. And yeah, like you said, meme itself into existence, time, consistency. Like it's just a matter of when, until then we just vibe out and, it's what we're doing now.
Man,
100%.
the thing I'd add is, like the person you just swept from, right? Like I, of course, did my gumshoe work, tried to figure out who it is, but the people who like jump into spaces and if you actually get engaged in the Discord or on Twitter or just the community in general, those people stick around and they end up adding more. So, I mean, yeah, long term. And like I've mentioned, most of us have some sort of investing background. So, absolutely fine with longer time horizons.
Yeah, it's one of those things too where like there's just not. We all know there's no new money coming in. It's like a compound. It's just everything compounds on this market, and especially in a bear market. So there's no new money coming in, and you have people that bought higher and that are kind of distributing at the lows. But at the same time, like we only have a handful of people in the Web3 space, right? So that's going to grow next cycle. And I mean, I don't want to use like shitcoins or just that was, I guess, one of the things you can use as an analogy. But it was essentially an order of magnitude higher from 2017 to last year's bull market. So, I mean, I don't know how big it's going to grow, but if we do get that order of magnitude higher for NFTs, just got a call, sorry, but if we do get that order of magnitude of growth, then that's just gonna we're really just gonna start moving, and then where's that gonna go, right? Logically, it's gonna go to just strong communities and things that are still around. And a lot of these cash grabs are just, they're already gone. Like 95% of them are just still liquid and they're just not coming back. We just really, from a technical standpoint, I think we got to like 0.25 ETH as a top. People probably sell and, or to the equivalent of either ETH or USD. And then once they're out, we're going to just start sending. And, especially when we get that new money coming in, it's really inevitable.
Yeah, exactly, man. So, Ram, you had your hand up. Did you want to say something?
Hey, Calio. Thanks for bringing me up. I just wanted to shout out Rooster. He recently joined our Panda fam, and he's been super helpful and speaking about the project with a couple of the guys in our Discord. I don't know if you've talked to Icebags, but we have a poker tournament tomorrow between the Penguins and Pandas, and I don't know, it would be cool if in the future we could do one with the Wonky Stonks.
Dude, I would love to. I'm down for that. I told Rooster you missed it last week. We were talking about this, and I am clueless as far as getting all that set up. I am not the poker guy in the room. Like if I'm joining poker, all I'm doing is adding liquidity to be able exit liquidity for somebody else. Like my money is going to end up in your hands. But like saying all of that, I know that there are a lot of people that are active in the community like Rooster that do enjoy it and that might have a little bit more skill than I have. So I would definitely be down to help set that up.
That's awesome. What we're doing tomorrow, it's like a free roll. And then I guess they're giving away from the Penguin side little penguins and then
little pudgies, baby. Little pudgies.
little pudgies, my bad, and the pandas will throw some in there. But it's a free roll. It's open to the community, so it's gonna be a blast.
10-4, man. I mean, it's exciting stuff. So any penguins in the audience that aren't familiar with that, you should DM Ram and get some more details on it. I'm sure that he'd be happy to tell you a little bit more about what's going on with that, since it's a collab between the two communities.
DM Rooster.
Or DM Rooster, same thing. Follow them both.
Yo, I didn't know the panda penguin tourney was tomorrow, so DMing me would not be a good idea for information on that specific tournament. I am, however, sitting on final table in the current panda tournament for some raffle tickets for a Bored Ape. 4 people left. I just got screwed over with Pocket Kings, but still second place right now. It's my little update. Nice,
love to hear it, man. You've been working your way up on these tables. Other than the other day, Monday was pretty funny, man. That was like a 5-minute in and out of that other run.
Yeah, the
Pocket
dealer,
Kings Queen.
Yeah, exactly. And my Pocket Kings didn't hold up this time. I lost to Ace Queen all in pre-flop. Good chunk of my stack, but it is what it is. Still alive, still floating.
Hey, sometimes that's what it takes in those tourneys, man. You just got to grind your way back. Survival's key. Same thing as the bear market, right? Like, you just have to hold on to some shred to be able to survive. Yeah, man. But no, it's exciting stuff. Cube, what were you going to say earlier, man? You had something going on. I cut you off whenever I acknowledged Anton's hand, which now I see Eth Ledger's hand, so I'll let him go after you speak.
Man, I don't even remember. I had the ring built on the trampoline, and I'm putting the legs on, and the thing comes undone. So I'm absolutely fucking furious right now, sweating my ass off.
Bro, can I tell you what the best game in the world that we used to play was? It was like probably the dumbest thing also. But at a buddy's house, this was like back in, elementary school, early middle school, he had a trampoline, and then right next to it, he had a shed. And we were able to jump up onto the shed's roof from the trampoline. But like there was this game that we had with a tennis ball where basically you bounced it off the side of the wall of the shed and it had to bounce back on the floor of the trampoline. Yeah, after it did that, then you dive to catch it, then do the other. And like it was extremely dangerous looking back on it. Like, thank God none of us broke or lost a limb doing it. But, in the process, it was a really fun game. So that might be the next thing that you need to add is a shed for your kids to be able to jump on from the trampoline and just position it right next to it.
So trampolines are absolutely amazing. Here's a fun fact. I live in a boomer neighborhood. I'm surrounded both sides of the house, 80-year-old married couple and 78-year-old widow. Evidently, you don't look into this when you buy a house. You look at HOA bylaws. They outlaw effing sheds in your own backyard. It is Boomerville City here.
Wait, outlaw sheds completely? No way.
You cannot.
Do they have it to where you don't have privacy fences? That would be the only reason I could potentially think. Because if you've got like a wooden privacy fence, then why should it matter? Like, how is anybody going to really see? Like, how is it obstructing somebody's view?
You can have fences. Like, I'm back facing the woods, right? But like,
yeah,
you peel around, you get in the neighborhood, you can see some people's houses. But dude, it's like douche canoe city. There's only like 4 approved paint colors. When you get a new roof, you gotta have your shingles approved by the board. It is awful. Absolutely awful. But I'm still gonna put in my backyard putting green. My backyard golf course. That's happening.
So you can have the backyard golf course. You can have the putting green, the chipping green, all that stuff, but you can't have a backyard shed.
An outbuilding, yeah. Sex dungeon, no chance. Can't have it.
Man.
But I digress. I'm going to go kick this trampoline's ass. But yeah, I'll pop back up.
Sounds good, sir. All right, Eth Ledger.
Yo.
Eth Ledger. What's up, man?
What's up, Wonky fam? Best community in the space. We were doing shout outs. So I just want to do a quick shout out to the Wonky friend. I don't think he's in here, but he did a giveaway a couple months ago and gave away 80s Babies book. And I won it, and I let it sit on my shelf for a few months. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to start reading this book. And I started reading it. And yeah, man, it's blown me away. Like, I can relate to a lot of his story. I won't get into it. I just suggest anybody that hasn't read it to pick up a copy. And yeah,
it's called Purality. Purality, yeah. For those of you who don't know.
Yeah, and I gotta message 80s because it's been a game changer for me so far. So yeah, I just wanted to hop up here and shout out Wonky Friend and 80s and say what up to the Wonky fam. Thanks for having me up here.
Bro, first off, I appreciate that shout out because 80s deserves it. Second off, I wouldn't be surprised if 80s comes back from Peru and he's got like an entire series of novels written. And that's what he's been doing to add on to the Purality, like make it a trilogy or something by the time it's all said and done with his enlightenment that he's gotten there. Because I know that he said everything's going well. He said he's enjoyed it and, he's looking forward to coming back, but I know he extended his time slightly, so I'm pumped for him for that. But it is funny. We all joked around about that at the very beginning a month ago, and we knew that he was not coming back after 1 month. Like there was zero way. So it's funny. Like it definitely played out like that.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. I seen the pictures, the picture of Machu Picchu or whatever that he posted. So I'm glad he's having a good time. It's a truly inspirational book. So. Yeah, shout out to him and hell yeah.
Bro, you want to hear something crazy, a little bit off topic talking about Peru. So I had a buddy that went recently and he went with some of his friends, right? And on the trip, one of his friends, night number 1, I forget, they were in like the capital city, whatever the heck it is. And they were going out and one of his buddies got drugged. Like roofied, and the person that ended up roofing him like stole his wallet and his phone and used his face to unlock his phone, accessed his Coinbase account and some other stuff, and was able to like by taking picture anyway, he was able to like change the password by taking pictures of his ID and photoshopping his face on the ID after that. So now he had it unlocked. He had the password changed. He had all that stuff. And from there, the guy recognized that he had some sketchy stuff happen to him, right? So he made some calls using a buddy's phone, before they went hiking to Machu Picchu and stuff. And he made some calls and thought he had his account shut down. But obviously he did not do his full diligence. Because when he got back from there, he had 5 days of blissful ignorance. He got back and realized he had over 150 grand worth of tokens that were withdrawn by this person that ended up roofing him while he was gone. This all happened, like I said, in Peru. And he immediately flew back, canceled the next 4 days of his vacation. And, just one of those shitty things. But one of those things that you realize anywhere traveling, if you're traveling, but also if you're at home, whatever else, like be careful, be safe. But happen in Peru.
Yeah, especially if you have crypto tattoos, you gotta watch out.
Thankfully, I don't have any crypto tattoos. I stick purely to. I don't have anything. I was trying to think of like what would be the most ridiculous thing I can say right now, and I couldn't think of anything. So shit out of luck.
Dude, I'm going to be so screwed. Like, I had a bet because I didn't think it was going to happen last year. I'm like, if Penguins get to a 10th floor, I'm going to get my penguin tattooed on my ass. And it looks like I'm going to probably have to do that. I'm a man of my word. I'm not going to back down.
In the next month.
If Wonky Stonks get to 10th, I'll get one on my other cheek. So that's a motivation for you guys.
So, Bach, the question, though,
you mean when?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I said when.
The question is, which penguin and which stonk are you going to pick? Like, what kind of pattern are you looking at?
That should be a guppy. Do you have a guppy bug?
I don't think I have a guppy, but I will have to purchase one, preferably before they get to a 10 ETH floor, because then it's going to be like 100 ETH for guppies, and might be a little bit out of range. But I think I'm going to get the hot dog penguin I have, the one of one. I don't know if I'm going to get the fishing rod too. That's a lot. That's a little bit too much. But yeah, I'll figure out the wonky as we get closer.
I'm gonna get the God candle tatted on my junk.
The God candle. Well, we got to see the God candle first.
Amen to that. Hey, I wanted to thanks for having me up, Kai. I wanted to respond to something that Boggs said earlier about no new money coming in. So something that's not been talked about much lately, and a lot of you don't know who I am. I've been in crypto since for a few years now. I'm a solution architect on the Salesforce platform. Salesforce is releasing the Salesforce NFT cloud in October, which is going to onboard both commercial and public sectors. So with that coming out, there's going to be quite a bit of new money coming in, not right away because everybody's still in the RFI stage. But we're seeing a tremendous uptick in RFIs in our pipeline. I work for one of the big four, and right now that's pretty much all the industry is talking about are how can we pivot over and launch this new vertical with NFTs with our products? How do we create those virtual experiences? So I would venture to say that pilots will start going out in the next 120 days or so. So yeah, we're definitely going to see some new money coming.
That's interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff.
Yeah,
Haven't heard anything on it.
Yeah, and I didn't pull it out of my ass. I mean, you guys can all go and check it out. It's Salesforce NFT, and if you're not familiar with Salesforce, they represent over 70% of all digital experiences online.
Well, we'll see, man. I mean, it'll be kind of like watching how the GameStop NFT platform continues to evolve and what they do with it, because I'm really curious to see whether that actually maintains traction itself. I kind of have a hard time seeing how it continues to, because you think about it, like it generated a decent amount of volume pretty quickly, but they're all just selling to themselves, right? It's a bunch of GameStop degen that came on there, and they're all just dumping on each other. Like, where's the new blood coming in from? Because they're not, if it's GameStop exclusive NFTs, basically NFTs that have launched with them that are being sold on their platform, like, where is their market for new blood? How are they doing that? I don't see it, but.
So we don't have anything active going on in the NFT space for GameStop, but we do have several projects that are in the incubation stage with Topps, Fleer, Marvel, and what they're looking to do is to digitize and create NFTs as a replacement to what most all of us grew up on, physical, tangible trading cards.
Just tell them not to go the Top Shot model, because Top Shot shot themselves in the foot big time.
Yeah,
with the overabundance of supply, like that would be my recommendation too. Like, I feel like a lot of these different companies, they think because of their mass reach that they're able to start off with a mass supply, right? They're like, well, if these apes over here can do 10,000 or 30,000 or 40,000 supply or 140,000 supply, when you look at their entire ecosystem, like, we can do even more than that, right? Because, like, we're Marvel and we've got the backing of the entire world and credibility behind us. And, like, that's kind of bullshit, because you might have that backing and you might have that brand awareness and reputation, but you still have to, like, prove it within a new space, right? It's just one of those things where like if all of a sudden I went over and I started just sharing, like spreads on different games and saying, okay, I'm going to start, I'm going to start picking whatever and be this god at sports betting, I would have zero credibility right off the bat. I would get zero attention, zero engagement, zero drawing from that because that's just not what my audience is. And I think it's the same thing with some of these larger companies. They have mass audiences. So, like, the odds that somebody in their audience is also involved in NFTs is there. But, like, still the majority of their audience that are the diehards, they have to convince to be able to completely onboard to the NFT side of things. And that's not as easy as it sounds. So, yeah, I think you kind of nailed it there, where it's just, you got to start a little bit slower. And I think if they can have the patience to know that, okay, like, we're not going to dump a ton into this yet. We're just going to start small with it and work our way up, slowly. That's the way to do it, because you really get one shot at this almost for these larger corporations. Like, if you fuck it up right off the get-go and you try to go too fast with it, when we're really in the upswing here in a couple of years, you've lost your shot at credibility. So you've got to do it slow, steady, and the right way.
So 100%. And the thought leadership that we're providing to our clients is to start off with the limited edition approach, because if you only have, let's say, for sake of argument, 10,000 products that you're offering to 100,000 people, you're obviously going to be able to increase your gains on that type of transaction, as opposed to having 100,000 products and 10 million buyers. And so what we're encouraging them to do is to take the pilot approach, start off with your limited editions, right? So, let's say it's a LeBron rookie card NFT. Don't put 5,000 of them out there, put 100 out there. Let the market absolutely lose its mind, and just slowly and gradually expand outward, and focus more on the strategic side of marketing, as opposed to, well, let's just push a bunch of crap out there like the dollar store, and we'll just wait for people to trickle in for it. That's not really, that type of approach doesn't work in this space. You've got to keep it limited, because that's what's going to bring the biggest draws that we're
So,
finding in the research that we've done. If anybody else on here has any thought leadership to share to contrast that, please reach out and talk to me, because again, these are active conversations that we're having with clients.
Mac, shoot me an ad on Twitter. I'll message you. I don't know how familiar you are with I was with NBA Top Shot, not with them. Very early adopter of NBA Top Shot, and pretty much exactly what you just described is what they did. And then they over flooded the market, and now the shit's not worth anything.
Exactly.
So I'd be happy to chat with you, or hops on a space sometime somewhere. But
yeah,
let's talk.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So anyway, the point of bringing it up, just raise some awareness to it, and again, I encourage you guys to learn about Salesforce. For those that don't know, Salesforce is the most dominant in SaaS and platform as a service for every major brand name all around the world. So yeah, we're late into the year. Once projects start rolling out, all of the major pushes to production in our space in consulting go live between Jan and Feb. So that's when I really expect to see a lot of results to start impacting the market. So regardless of what kind of price action we're seeing today, Polygon, Solana, whenever it stays up, those are two of the more favored underlining NFT chains that these guys are looking at. So,
That's a great point you guys brought up. And for me, I got a little input with that. I'm a little hesitant with all of that going on, because I feel like the way the crypto space is as a whole, NFTs are attached to it, right? They're part of crypto, and there's a huge pushback um, from the other side as to like we are scams over here, and so if you're looking at it as mass adoption and stuff, I feel like there needs to be a different course taken on how that's achieved than just making you know all stuff into NFTs. I mean, I think that would be pretty cool, right? But it's just the market is not mature enough yet to have that sentiment that pump and dump and everybody go back to four, and the NFTs unfortunately get dragged along with that.
Yep, totally agree. And we hear that objection from clients almost in every conversation that we attend, where somebody, one of the stakeholders, is asking, well, from what we've learned, this all seems like a scam. And, while you can sit there and argue and address all of the concerns and objections that are lifted, at the end of the day, what I think is really healthy for this space is that you do have a powerhouse like Salesforce stepping in to help create that narrative that I personally think this space so desperately needs. Because, I mean, let's face it, it's we can't rely on the Mike Alfreds of the world to come up with the narrative that we need to help usher in this next wave of adoption, because the skill set necessary to achieve the message that's really going to hit home with the target audience is not going to come from the Mike Alfreds of the world. I'm sure he's a great guy, but he doesn't have the track record that some of these other brands have. So, that's where I get a lot of my optimism about this space, is that Salesforce is stepping in to take a big charge, and I've been working with them for 22 years now. So yeah, and who knows, I could be wrong. They could come in and fuck it all up, and we're back here joining Kai's space for a Wonky Stonk. Who knows? I wouldn't bet on that though.
Oh, I guess we'll see, right? If anything, tell them to buy Wonkies, man. That's a safe bet.
Yeah, I'll text Parker Harris right now and tell him to stock up.
I think as to bring the masses in, like I understand the approach, but also I think the group that's already in crypto, there will be a pushback from this group too, because you kind of need to get into the space and like show that you're interested in the technology and the whole thing, like part of the culture, kind of, before you get the support from this side. I think that's going to be also something. I don't know if they even care about it, right? Because obviously the masses out there are huge, but um, that is also to think about. Coming in as a purely, uh, setting up a business model and like trying to. A lot of the companies that will try to profit off of this, uh, just by offering an image of something that we already see a thousand times for some money. Um, that is something that I'm hesitant on. But like I said, I think the some sort of, if you look into what NFTs can really be, and they manage to build some utility. And I'm not talking about none of that people crying about, oh, what's the utility or not, but just make it fun. That might be enough. But then again, it's a numbers game for a lot of the big guys.
Right. So, Salesforce is very inclusive around culture, and I think that they're going to entertain every aspect of it outside of the degen aspect of this culture. They're not going to participate in that. They're going to use that horsepower to focus on the business side. How can we capitalize this? How can we leverage because frankly what they're most interested in is the smart contract capability. Being able to onboard fintech into that type of experience, as opposed to the AS400s and Cobalts believe it or not, still running on as their backbone today. As far as the art and that side of the culture of NFTs, they will absolutely embrace that. That actually runs in parallel to how their culture has functioned for the last 20 plus years now. But as far as like the degen side of it, like the kumquat NFTs or whatever that nonsense is, that they're not going to touch that stuff. They'll
The
purposely
dick butts, baby, the dick butts.
dick butts. That's what it is. Yeah. Well, I mean, and we see where the dick butts got us. I mean, we got monkeypox now because of it. So
Bro, but I mean, like, the funny thing is, the dick butts chart actually looks incredible. Like,
does it really?
it looks like one of the more bullish NFTs out there right now. Is the crazy thing, because I guess it's so ridiculous and so memeable that it still gains some traction, and that's sometimes what it takes.
That's hilarious. I love the irony there that dick butts are bullish during monkeypox. That's
Dude,
I can't think.
imagine trying to walk up to somebody and telling them like, what's your, they ask you, what's your current investment thesis? And well, it's like, my current investment thesis is, they're dick butts, these really cute penguins, and then stocks, but I mean, like, not actually stock, like pictures of stocks, like just JPEGs of them. And like that's financial freedom. And like, imagine like you're being 100% serious, but like the other person, the average person, how can they listen to that and take you seriously?
I would treat them like a New Yorker on the subway and just get the fuck away from them. That's exactly what I would do. Be like, all right, this guy's on a lot of acid, probably like an unhealthy dose. I need to put some distance between us.
I feel like the longer you're in crypto, like the more you just accept like the ridiculousness. Like the more like you're there is no investment thesis. It's like you just see like what the meta is, and you just try to be first. If you're not first, you're last.
I felt that way until I started following Gainsey, and now that I see his post, like I'm just mind fucked like half a dozen times a day.
You just got to go off your like gut feeling. I don't know how to. You can't listen to anyone. You got to just see like why do people like this,
Right.
like, and just see like look at Kaleo. Like I mean, he's patient. He looked at the pudgies. I was incessant on like I was shilling pudgies for like a year, and then and it's not like he missed anything because we haven't really even took off. So, but I mean we stayed around. So it's just one of those things where you gotta be patient. You have to like you can't rule out something because it's ridiculous as an investment or something. If you're even if you're just trade like you're just scalping or whatever you're doing, like whatever your strategy is, like you
Well,
just
I
can't.
mean,
I grew up in the 80s and watched a guy start selling a pet rock to the entire world and turned himself into a millionaire. And that taught me to be a total sociopath when it comes to investments. Like, I'll be candid with you. I don't care if you guys, want to buy a street sign for $1 million. If I can get my hands on one for $5, I'm going to flip it. So, I don't have any personal attachment to this stuff. I think it's all pretty cool and neat. I think some things are, a bit eyebrow raising, but, at the end of the day, who am I to judge? Because I'm not there for that. I'm there for the flip.
oh, I feel that, man. Like, I think there's a healthy balance of that within any ecosystem, right? Like, you've got to have people that are, and like, honestly, with any level of investment, even if, say, there's a project that you believe in, once it reaches like a price point that you're not really comfortable saying that if I don't take any profit here, then, I'm not doing myself a service. Like, if it's life changing for you, you should do it, right? Like, and it's like the rational, reasonable thing to do, and it doesn't mean that you have to like say that you hate the community and you're done with it, right? And like, I think community shouldn't interpret it as that. It's something that I think that like that's a natural part of the progression of any investment that you make, and it is what it is. And whether you're in it on that side of it or whether you're in it purely for the flip, like the liquidity is part of what makes robust markets efficient. And looking at like what Boggs said earlier, like the Pudgies, for instance, dude, I've sat around, like watched everybody meme about it for years within the community, like Bogfather and Yakimet especially trying to get me to hop on. And, it just became one of those things where eventually, it took me a while to really, really dive in and believe in the NFT side of things. But then B, I didn't want to buy the peak of any market, right? And when you're talking about buying the peak of a market, like we were in peak euphoria for a long time, I'd say really all the way up through spring, through the ape, whatever, the land launch. Why am I blanking on the other side deeds? And, it's the whole NFT market is kind of, eased a bit since then. So from there, it was looking at, okay, what are communities that are still active, that have been around for a while? And then again, looking at charts, like, if you believe in charts in one asset, like you should believe in charts and NFTs also. So, it's a combination of looking fundamentally at the activity and what they have going on, but also technically at like, if this were just a random shitcoin, would I buy it as well? So, it's a combo of both things that kind of led toward that, but it's not something that necessarily has to happen overnight, right? I think a lot of the time, when you're talking about the NFT space and we were talking about something new in general, it might take a little bit more time to be able to understand it. And it, might take a little bit of time to reach like a price level that you're comfortable with getting into it. Personally, like I would prefer to get in something when it's considered still relatively not mundane, but boring, rather than try to buy in during the peak of the hype and, just hope it keeps going up, right? Like I'd rather be a part of the momentum, than I would be, the stop to the momentum at the end of it.
100%. And that's where we're at right now. From my point of view at work is, we're in that boredom stage where clients are asking very fundamental questions to understand, okay, well, what is blockchain? What is crypto? What is an NFT? What is an XYZ? They're at a very, very early stage, but they also have 1% of their overall budget to go towards tech development. And I would say over 90% of our clients, NFT is the top of our pipeline right now. And they want to move quickly. I mean, just like everything else in this space, they want to design it right now and have it tomorrow. And some of them can afford to get it tomorrow. Some of them can't. We have to drag them out over several months. But some of the predominant players in this space, the Tops, the Fleers, the Disneys, they can afford to do it. Target is also showing a lot of heavy interest in NFTs and also creating that VR shopping experience where their stores will essentially just become warehouses. That's their internal goal, is that the consumer shopping experience is hosted from the sofa or from home, where you don't have to come to the store, where you can have that VR experience. Your receipt is an NFT. If you want to buy trading cards, those trading cards should be NFTs. So we're seeing a lot of cross pollination between the clients where they're wanting to partner together to say, hey, okay, here's our roadmap, here's our vision and requirements. So this is where we see you playing a role here. And a lot of those other clients are coming to the table for the conversation. So within 12 months, we're going to see some very radical changes in this space. And hopefully, we can get them on a path to success where they don't step in and just, to the earlier point that I think it was Vatin made, is, don't come in and saturate the market with all this crap. Like, give us a trickle effect. And I think we'll get there.
Dude, I think you made a couple of good points, and I think it's really two things with crypto and why I think we're all here and why we love it. It's that you have the network effect is one. As we continue to grow, like I think Kaleo said this earlier, but look at like all these major companies that you mentioned, all these new these big companies creating their own marketplaces. Like that wouldn't have happened in 2018. Like last market, we were just completely dead.
Oh gosh.
I do. There's like adoptions. If you want to call it adoption, whatever, it's happening faster. But at the same time, this space moves so fast that it's always going to be like a lagging kind of thing where, like now they're trying to start, like they're still like talking about like what's a security or not with shitcoins and regulation around that, and it's still like the Wild West essentially, even though it's definitely matured from the beginning, but it's still kind of in a Wild West period. But with NFT, as long as there's something to disrupt, there's value to be made in crypto. So, with artists with Web3, and who knows what's going to be the next thing, real estate, whatever it is, it's like, the skill is really just finding out like what clicks and having that long-term conviction, even when it's like at the dog shit days where it's just like completely dead. There's no one around. You got to just stick around and just hope that, your bags will eventually pump, and you get better at it as the more experience you have. But it's just one of those things where you just have to have some sort of sense of like realism with yourself, and you can't like, delude yourself, because there's times where, you're not going to hit on everything, but it's definitely going to be around. NFTs are going to grow, whether people like them or not, and I just see the same like kind of cope and arguments made against it, with like kind of being with delving into crypto in like early 2017 with shitcoins. It's things, markets rhyme, but it's never the same. But I think you can kind of see that.
Do you know?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Batum.
Okay, so the whole thing with the NFTs, right? And like what we are going through now, and like some of these NFTs being crazy expensive, I feel like in the future that will still happen. But like the space, in order to succeed, like you need to be able to buy a $10 NFT without paying more than $1 in fees. You know, and as some people might think that the grow is going to come where all these NFTs are all going to be worth millions of dollars. I think it's going to be more like when utility comes, and like some of the stuff that we buy now for $10, we can buy it on the web for $10, on the blockchain, and uh, grow on that side. I think not a lot of people are talking about it in that way. Because it's all focused on collections. Um, but that is, I feel like that separates completely from what NFTs are now and what they'll be then. Um, and I think that's important to make a distinction of what we're going through right now and what eventually it will be used for. I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be,
I think I don't know why you can't have both though. I think this is essentially just the first iteration of NFTs where we have collections, like this is like the foundation, and it's always going to have retain value because of that, right? Like this is like one of the first OG things you can do. I do agree that at some point the price point's going to have to go down, and if you're kind of looking at what smarter projects are doing, they're tapping into the Web 2 aspect of look at like, yeah, I'm going to shield the pudgies, but they're doing it the right way. They're going to create toys, they're doing all these things, and there's going to be a mobile game in the pipeline, but just ways to onboard people. And it's kind of like a brand. Like if you're scaling a brand, they're doing it to try to get more people on board, especially with what they're doing in social media, their Instagram. Like it's you have to slowly kind of change the narrative too, because NFTs are so hated right now. And just I remember trying to get people, and I'm sure if you were around in 2017, you were just trying to talk to people, and you just seemed like a Jehovah's Witness, and you're just like, oh hey man, like this is like the next big thing, buy fucking Walton chain, like look at these master nodes. And obviously like that didn't pan out, but some shit coins, like DeFi stuff came through, and you made a good amount of money. But if you're a late adopter, like yeah, I do agree that like you're going to have these cheap NFTs, and if you're talking about skins in video games, whatever the experience is where you want to have some kind of ownership, like that'll be there. But I think it's just a separate market. And, we're not expecting, like there's only a handful of like high net worth individuals that have like that risk tolerance that are going to come into this space, and they're going to like, drop all that money on. So I don't think it's going to, I'm not really blindly expecting that, but I think people are going to slowly come around and realize, like, with the projects that do succeed, there's kind of something there within the community that they're going to tap into. That's not, we don't really even know what that is yet, because this is, we're still in the PFP part. Like there's going to be like a mass onboarding where things are affordable. So I do agree with you, but I think you could have a bit of both.
Oh, I completely agree. I completely agree with that. I was just saying that when we talk about mass adoption, that they will probably lean more towards our side than having a bunch of people just trying to come and pump our bags that are not already here. So, that side of the NFTs, I think, like you say, is going to be a complete different market, and we're too early to tell what this is going to end up being. But when I think about mass adoption, like I said, I think about complete different than what we're going through right now. I don't think you can keep communities as pure and as fun with a bunch of people coming in. I think that'll be lost. So I think it's nice to be part of some right now and enjoy it. Because I don't think this is the way it's gonna be. It'd be completely different.
So I was on the rails with you up until the last comment about the risk of communities being lost. So these communities are going to have to step up with a strong community manager to keep the communities intact as these products grow, and that will help to thwart it. But you raised an earlier point about, if this is going to go mainstream, then you can't have a $10 NFT where you've got to pay $20 worth of gas just to be able to get it, because your average everyday consumer is they're not going to go for that. I mean, it's already a hurdle in some product owners' minds of, well, how do we convince somebody to pay for something that they'll never be able to put their hands on? And while that's arguable and we don't need to go there, uh, the the point that you make is paramount, because and I've had a lot of stakeholders raise the same objection. Well, I've gone out on my own. I like NFTs. I like the Bored Apes and the XYZs, but I don't buy them because I have to pay half of what I'm already spending just to be able to get the thing for gas or processing fees or whatever it is. So how do we create stage gates and regulate that where we don't pass that cost off to the customer? So that's where, the polygons and some of the alternative chains with lower fees are coming into the discussion of, okay, here's how we can mitigate that scenario. Every consumer in the world is used to buying product plus tax. So they're trying to we're working with them to try and find a way of how we present it in that fashion, as opposed to, throwing it on them. Well, here, you've got to pay the gas fee, and the gas fee is the price to pay for not having to have CEOs and, all of the rigmarole that's involved in some of the models that exist today. So if anybody has any knowledge on low fees or methods or processes that are worth taking a look at, I'd love to have a conversation and pick your brain about it.
I thought you made an interesting point too about community dilution, and I think it's just one of those things that's kind of bound to happen. But I don't look at the derivatives of all these projects too. I mean, with the apes, especially, that you have so many people that want to be part of something but they can't afford it, and it's just kind of like the way you deal with that. I think they're kind of more they're kind of really exclusive, and they're treating it like a luxury good. But there's going to be other projects that's their niche, and other if you're another project like with the little pudgies, there's 20. I mean, the apes have that too, but the same supply. But it's one of those things where you can probably dilute through some kind of other NFT or some other way to to be part of the brand if you really want to grow it. I think the apes, they're never going to do that because that's their thing. but other projects, like I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of successful like mass produced NFT. I just don't know what that's going to be or what that looks like yet.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see a lot of mass-produced NFTs. We've got a very large account with Marvel, and Marvel is probably the most enthusiastic above all of the clients that we work with about the NFT space, because they want to, and you're going to see a lot of these companies play the green card, right? We're trying to be eco-friendly, and we're moving over from printed materials to NFTs. So, a lot of the conversations taking place there are, well, let's move our trading cards over to NFTs. And all of the various upgrades that you can get, right? So, different battle tools and whatever the hell. And then also moving their entire graphic novel off of print over to NFTs. Now, from a business point of view, that makes a lot of sense, but another angle to that is that it also increases the value of the hard copy materials. So they're not going to fully exit that space. They're just going to produce more limited quantities on the physical printed items than what they're currently doing today, which, for anybody that's still holding comic books, do not let those things go. But yeah, we're going to see. I'm glad to be alive right now and have knowledge about this space and have money invested. I'm not taking profits for at least 10 years on anything that I've got at all. Anyway, Callio, I got to run, guys. Thanks for the chat. I got to run in here and meet a client. But appreciate the talk, and I'll follow up with you guys. Stay cool.
Yeah, no problem at all, man. I'm getting my giveaway thing set up right now, trying to pull in all the retweets and listeners and trying to get that sorted right now. So if you're in here and you're listening and you followed the rules and, I guess you still got like about probably a few minutes left to retweet it. I realized I never pinned it up here, but I am doing a giveaway for a couple stonks. So here in the next few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and give those out. Like I said, I'm compiling right now all the names, getting everything together, and then I'm going to do the picker here in a minute. And when I do that picker, I'm going to confirm that you guys are in here. And if you're in here, then great. We'll give them away to you. And if you're not, then, you're shit out of luck, honestly. Sometimes that's how it goes, though, Rooster, are you playing? Or James, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? Sorry if this has already been asked, but do you guys know how Yakamit got started with pairing the stonks and the penguins? Was that like an idea that he came up with?
Bro, somebody else give the Yakamit story, because the Yakamit's a legend. Rooster, I feel like you or Cube could do a good job of this.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it started, but Yakamit, he created a couple mashups that weren't, I think his first two or a few weren't a combination between projects. And then, a lot of the community was thinking, oh, this would be a great way to be able to display two projects. Stonks work, perfect as a background. And then, Yakamit was just the one everyone started going to from the very beginning. And he's just refined his craft and has just been excelling at it ever since. It's not just the penguin thing. I mean, he's mashed up Tom Brady, The Matrix, Miami Heat. He's mashed up.
Go to hit the banner on his page, and you can zoom in on a bunch of the mashups that he's done.
At this point, I think he said, I got him working on a mashup for me right now, and I think he's like 350 mashups, and so it's been anything from your personal interests or some funny shit or mashing it with other NFT projects. I had him do LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow on a moving average ribbon I had back in the day. So yeah, Yakimat's a legend.
Man, those things are
Sorry, I'm
cool
putting
as
springs
hell.
on this goddamn trampoline right now. It's miserable, guys.
Because I sent to my buddy, I sent a little pudgy, and then like a few weeks later, I showed him the stonks, and he wasn't really feeling it. And then when I sent him the mashup, I mean, it was about a quarter of an ETH for the 1-in-1, and sure enough, 2 days later, he called me up. He's like, "Hey, can you send me the link to those?" And the mashups he does are cool as shit, man.
Yeah, Yakimit's been the mashup legend forever. If you actually go in our Discord, we have a channel just for his mashups, so you can just scroll through those and enjoy all of the ones that he's done.
All right, cool. I will. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, for sure. And Kaleo, I heard you about to ask about how I was doing in poker.
I was, yeah.
Guy ends up flopping, and flop means, the first three cards that come out. 4 of a kind on me, 1 place out of the money. So I got knocked out.
No.
Yeah, and if you want to know the odds of flopping 4 of a kind, it's about 1 in 3,333. So I
That's
got
painful,
coolered.
man. That's really painful.
Yeah, it do be what it do be though. He'll be mailing to me later today and tomorrow. Wait, what?
I couldn't tell. Was he loaded? Was he loaded?
Was he loaded with the pocket? Was he pocket pair pre-flop, or was it 3 of a kind?
Yeah, no, he had pocket 4s. I had ace queen. I 3-bet, right? So it's probably about a third of his stack. I 3-bet. He calls me. He just calls pre-flop. Or it comes out 4-4 ace. So I table top pair, right, with a queen kicker. And he checks it. So obviously I think he probably either has king thing, or if he has an ace, I probably outkick him. So I see bet about 50% pot. He just calls me. So again, I'm still thinking he's slow rolling me on the pocket 4s. He had made quads by this time.
Oh yeah, you're dead. You're dead.
Yeah, he's slow rolling me on the pocket 4s, and I think a jack comes out, right. I still got top pair, top kicker, and so he raises me all in, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then he flops quads, and I was like, all right, thanks,
Deuces.
bro. Yeah, I was like, thanks, bro. 1 spot out of the money for the Bored Ape raffle, but I'll win some others.
Gosh, man, I hate to hear it. Okay, by the way, I've got the first winner. First winner is E. Charles. I've still got one more to give away, but E. Charles, I'm going to DM you. And
there you go.
If you send me your ETH address, I will shoot you that stonk. And make sure to join the Discord also. Come check out the vibes there. But congratulations.
Let's go. Congratulations.
Sid is the only penguin to message me saying that he doesn't have a wonky. So I'm assuming either you all have wonkies already, but if not, shoot me a DM and I'll do a little raffle.
A couple people might have missed it earlier in the space too. So if you want to let the newcomers in know what you're doing, that might get a little more.
For sure. So yeah, if you're a penguin in here and you don't have a wonky stonk, just DM me and I'm giving one away.
Looks like Flip Drago's got his hand up.
Flip, what's up, sir?
Hey, how's it going? Just want to come up, stop by, and say that pink leopard skin looks really good on you.
Bro, I actually kind of like it. I like the vibes of because it kind of just reminds me of this chill boomer that is just, like he's kind of said F it. He's just vibing, like, he's whatever happens, happens. He's growing the beard. He's got the, what do you call him? The lay. Oh, why am I blanking? Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
he's
lay.
just,
Yeah, it's a lay.
yeah, he's got the lay. Like, it's just, it kind of fits. So I've grown to like it more and more. I really have. Like, it's just kind of matches my vibe right now.
Yeah, just a boomer on a fishing trip in Hawaii. That's what you're
That's
feeling right
it.
now.
That's
Dude,
exactly what
I
I'm feeling
realized
right
too, like
now.
now that you have the hexagon, you won't have any like poser bots that are, like they can't pose as you because now you're your penguin and everyone knows that.
That is true. Like, you can't have a poser with the hexagon, or they're going to have to do a lot more work to pose, right?
I was gonna
Because they
say
would have to
challenge
mint, they
accepted.
would have to mint the picture, they would have to mint the JPEG, and then, but the thing is, I think there are only a certain number of supported collections that you can do anyway. So if it's not part of a supported collection, I still don't think that you could end up doing it. So, like,
Yeah,
it'd have to
they got to
be,
make it for verified collections. I think for this,
yeah.
I think it'll definitely trim it down.
But then we won't be able to mint our own mashups and then display them as a hexagon. Because I've been considering that, minting my PA Guppy mashup that I'm rocking right now, and using it as a hexagon. But honestly, going to take that away.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know this though. I am gonna scoop up here soon. I've still got a few more penguins to add before I'm done in this area, because it just, like, I don't know, man. As long as they're in this price range, like, dude, I'll stick to what I said. I really think it's one of those things where, like, hey, if I can stack in this range and, maybe sell half around like the 20 ETH area, whenever that happens in the next year, like, that's fine with me, and just keep the other half to vibe into the bull run. It's good enough, right? Like, I'm not trying to be too greedy. Maybe I'll sacrifice a penguin or two at 10 ETH just to, like, say that, okay, I am not like calloused to profits, but we'll see. I mean, again, like, I just think anywhere under 3 ETH right now is just like a no brainer as far as stacking some more, and then we'll see. Like, we'll see how it all turns out. And it's one of those things again where, one play, one big play at a time, and we'll go from there. And then of course, I'll continue to stack all the stonks that I can, as long as people will keep paperhanding them like they did yesterday.
You heard that the Kaleo stock buyback program is in full effect. There is no recession. There is no NFT recession.
Yeah, if you want some liquidity, well, actually, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say that. But I see we got Lucky on stage. How's it going, man?
What's up, man? I joined because I heard about your bad beat. I got knocked out in 12. I was playing the same tournament. I go all in pre-flop just because I have like 1,000. I'm like 1,000 back, and dude calls me with pocket sixes. I have ace king, and I flop trips, and he hits his 6 on the river to
Oh,
knock
so
me
he
out.
boats up. Oh
Yep.
man.
Yep.
Oh,
I
love
won
the
both of them
coolers.
yesterday, though.
You won both yesterday?
Yeah, I got first place in the first one. I got second place in the second one. So I
Nice,
placed.
congrats. Before today, I was going in with a new strategy on the new platform. It was a very loose and aggressive strategy, which seemed to not pan out well at all. So I switched it up today, and then got knocked out fourth on quads. So
Rooster, I believe you mean it didn't panda out. Thank you. Dad joke of the day.
Yeah, nice one, Cube. Yeah, I'm just making lunch here. Should be done in just a little bit.
Do you know about the Pudgy game we're playing tomorrow?
No, actually, Ram came up and talked about that a little bit. Could you give more information on that? I did not know that was happening tomorrow.
Yeah, we're playing. So it's at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's the Pandas versus Pudgy. So if anyone thinks they're wants to play, I guess they can go through the Pudgy. They can go through Burko, but I think there's a bounty on him and Ice Bags. They're both playing, and first place gets 3 little Pudgies and 3 Pandas. Second place gets 2 Pudgies, 2 Pandas. Third place and fifth get one of each. So
So this is the official one, not the qualifier.
yeah, tomorrow's the official one. So we're gonna get our 100 in our Discord, and then anyone that wants to win, a little penguin or a panda can play tomorrow.
Nice. That's gonna be cutting it really close for me. I got work at 4. My time starts at 1. I'm definitely gonna play. I'm gonna sit in. Probably end up being a little bit more aggressive just to try and knock some people out and make it a shorter game. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and make the full game tomorrow.
Hopefully, I see you at the final table.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm giving away 2 because I only got 2 DMs, so I'm not gonna make someone guess between 1 and 5 or something dumb. So Babs and Sid, congrats. Welcome to the Wonky fam.
Love it. And I just sent E. Charles his. I've got one more I'm going to give away here in a bit. I'm running it right now, so we'll see here in just a little bit who gets the second one for mine today.
Yeah, so what's up? What's up with the recession? Are we redefining the meaning? According to the meaning.
Hey, there is no recession. There is no bear market.
Okay.
Yeah, the new definition of a bear market is that your thing has to be down 99%.
Kaleo, the 2 times I've talked to you in the spaces, the first one was called "The Bulls Are Back," and the second one was called "Survival at All Costs."
Yeah. I mean, you got to survive at all costs, no matter what, whether the Bulls are back or whether they're not. So, those are 2 names of 2 spaces.
He must have missed the Bitcoin busting on God Kaleo spaces.
Yeah, Mark could be busting for real on God, no cap. Like was the name of another space recently.
One of my favorites though was the one where we had Carol Baskin.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
KSI.
and KSI.
Carol Baskin and
hilarious.
KSI. Bro, that was the funniest combo too. Because even KSI, when he was talking to Carol Baskin, was like, "Wait, what the fuck is this Carol Baskin up here?"
Yeah. Oh, that was a great space.
That was the funniest thing, man. Actually, the funniest thing that I found out the other day, I had a buddy that DM'd me, and because he was listening to that space and he recognized my voice, and I didn't find out that he thought it was me until like last week whenever I ran into him. And he was chatting, asking what I do these days. And he was like, dude, it's crazy. Like, there's somebody that I know that sounds exactly like you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I thought it was you. And we were talking more, and like, that was the first person I've ever had that's recognized me from a space, though. So it was kind of funny. Okay, Golden, you've had your hand up, man. Welcome up. What's going on?
Not much, man. Hey, just wanted to say that I appreciate all the support, man, for the Penguins community. I'm glad you're having a really good time, but I'm good friends with Bog and some others up here, and I've been in the space a long time, and I would very confident that what you're saying about the future of the project will come true. It's just the IP is too strong, universal. The community, as you're finding out, is second to none. So really glad you're part of this. And if you ever see like a golden bowl cut, replying to one of your tweets on the internet, that's likely me. But just really glad to have you in the space. So, just if you ever want to reach out or anything, I'm always available. But you're in good hands with Bog and some others up here.
Really appreciate that, man. Always nice connecting with people that are in that circle. So welcome up, and you're also welcome up on stage anytime. And by the way, Will, yes, you are the winner. Will Clark, I DM'd you. You are winner number 2. So shoot me that ETH address, and yes, you're the winner. I DM'd him a minute ago as we were talking, and he was like, "Wait, really? Is this actually you? Is that the real deal?" I'm like, "Yeah, like that's real." So, congrats.
Oh yeah, if you won my giveaway, I get to make fun of you if you floor this at any point in the future for less than like 5 ETH. That was the
Bro, I
unspoken
feel
stipulation.
those same vibes, Bog, where like I won't lie, that's the one thing that breaks my heart a little bit with the giveaways is whenever I see them, like, and anybody obviously can do whatever they want with it, but like when I see it, especially when I get like this heartfelt thank you note back about how much it means to them and everything else, and then like a month later I see it listed like beneath floor, which has happened several times from these
Yeah.
giveaways, because I pay attention. Like the one stocks I refuse to sweep and buy back are the ones that I give away. Like I can't get myself to do it.
Yeah, I get that.
And
Yeah.
and like, you know what? I feel like it's one of those things. Hey, if you waited 6 months, if you waited whatever, like, that doesn't feel as bad. If if the price is gone, it doesn't feel quite as bad. You gave the experiment a shot. But like, I won't lie, it's like one of those things where if you give somebody a gift, even if it, you consider it like a shitty gift and you're like, well, damn, I guess I really didn't want that. You don't go back to the store they bought it from if they're working behind the register and sell it back to them immediately.
Exactly. I would rather give you $100 or whatever the equivalent is.
Yeah, just tell me.
Yeah. Do you need to pay your electric bill? Just let me know instead of having to dump this, because that was not the whole point of the giveaway.
Exactly. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, like, do what you want with it. It is what it is. It's okay. Like, I love you regardless. I may not like you for like 20 seconds, but I'll get over it. Okay, there we go. I just sent it over to you, Will. But, man, I appreciate. It's been another fun Friday space. Oh shit! I just realized I never put my clothes in the dryer. I'm not gonna leave anytime near what I was supposed to leave by. Oh well, shit happens. It's just part of life. Gotta be. It just gets tough whenever you start traveling so much, man. Like, it's tough to be able to get back, unpack, repack, unpack, repack. Like, it starts to add up. I did not want to go this weekend, but it's one of those things where you commit to something, and I hate being a guy that's flaky and like day before ends up backing out. If I commit to something, I'm going to go, right? Like, it's that easy, because the worst is whenever you have friends and they say, oh yeah, they're going to, and then they come up with an excuse last minute and end up stepping back from something, and like, I can't do that. I wish I could, but I won't. It'll still be a fun weekend.
See, we have Willy Wonka up here. He spent the last, seems like eternity, hanging out at the president's house in Sri Lanka. So want to hear from him a little bit.
I think you missed out because I was talking at the start of the spaces.
Well, Wonka,
I must have missed it.
The update on your pet squirrel.
He's doing quite good. He's getting really hungry, so he's always eating. I don't know how, but he's just eating all the time. But maybe I will tweet him out tomorrow morning for crypto Twitter to see him. Yeah.
Wonka, how does it make you feel that I've eaten squirrels?
Whoa.
I'm really not even fucking with you now. I actually legitimately, I had a neighbor down the street when I was a kid. They were a little bit more redneck, and they paid us. They had a squirrel problem, and they paid us $10 a squirrel for every squirrel we killed in their backyard. BB guns. So we had our BB guns, and we were sitting there, and we killed a decent amount. I think we made $60 in a couple days. It wasn't anything too ridiculous, but we were out there just sniping these sons of guns. And my buddy's dad would cook them up, and they kind of tasted like chicken. They were great fried. But anyway, like that point aside, we accidentally shot the neighbor's golden retriever in the ass. And that's when they decided maybe it wasn't a good idea. So from there, we ditched the BB guns, and we started doing bow practice. And my buddy had it was nothing too intense, like a 40-pound compound bow, or maybe it was 30 pounds. I mean, we weren't that old. We were 8th grade, 7th grade, something like that. And whatever it was, I remember we were shooting with that, and then the same neighbor got so pissed at us that they ended up calling the cops on us, and the cops threatened to arrest us for shooting a bow in this guy's backyard. And that one actually made more sense, because looking back on it, man, had the arrows flown over a fence or something, a stray arrow might have actually gotten somebody. But it all led from the squirrel bounty and the squirrel fry originally.
Got to respect the hustle. That's so funny.
Speaking of bow and arrows, when I was up in Oregon visiting one of my friends last year, me and my girlfriend went up, and me and my homie, we were shooting the bow and arrow into the target, and she walks over, arms out to the side. She's like, "All right," she's like, "Give it to me." She's like, "I got this. I was in all these summer programs or whatever." And so we give her the bow and arrow. First shot, overshoots it, just sticks into the neighbor's side of the house, and then had an arrow sticking out the side of their house, and she ran away. The arrow was in the house for 6 hours until we retrieved it at night. It was hilarious.
Kaleo, I gotta ask this. It's a debate my wife and I have. So I forgot you got the rural background right. When you say, do you say coyote or coyote?
Oh, it just depends. I mean, in plural, I'll say coyotes, right? Otherwise I might say coyote. I don't know. If I'm just talking about a singular, I'd probably mostly say, but I'll probably say both. I probably interchangeably use the two words, but I don't say them that often. I guess one instance would be, out when I was working in the oil field, West Texas. We had this HSE dude that, we had an issue with coyotes out there, where there was one that came up on location, looked a little bit rabid, and we contacted the state about it, because at that point it's the state's issue to be able to come and kill them and take care of them. So we had an HSE guy that for half the hitch came out there in the helicopter and got to hunt nighttime, because they're usually out at night, and it's a lot easier, thermal scope to be able to see them moving at night. So they got to go out there and from the helicopter, hunt coyotes for about a week straight, and got paid $1,200 a day to do it.
Yeah, we got a similar problem here in Kansas. So the FSA offices will pay you $50 a coyote, that you bring into the office, because that's a problem out here. But I was a city kid, and I had never heard people say coyote till I entered the ag world. So I'm just curious. So fun fact for you there, Wonka. Kaleo eats squirrel. I haven't done that yet.
I haven't eaten squirrel in a long time. I would gladly do it again. Just, keep your squirrels safe and close, and, maybe put a collar on them to make sure that type of stuff doesn't happen. everybody listening to me right now from like Europe or anywhere else is probably like, damn, like Cleo's a little bit more backcountry redneck than I expected. And maybe I am, I don't know, but there is more where that came from. Like, another example was whenever my buddies and we were, I think, yeah, this is still in middle school days. We caused some trouble. So there was a creek that ran nearby our house, and we explored down the creek, right? And there was this area probably, about a mile down the creek that we created a path to. And we thought it was secluded. And you don't really at that age understand the concept of public and private land. Everything is just your land at that point. So we, built our secret pathway, secret entryway to be able to get there. We built these forts down along the creek bed, and we were just getting into paintball at that time, right? We were huge into paintball, and we were like, you know what? Like, we're going to build our own paintball course. So we did. We built our own paintball course kind of in the creek bed along these, where we had the forts and stuff. And we got one game in, nothing happened, but we came back a second game, and my buddy accidentally shot, there was a horse that ran down to the creek bed, and he lit up a horse on accident. So we were absolutely fucked, man. Like the guy came back, because the horse ran back up, and the guy came riding down with a shotgun, like shot it up in the air a couple times, threatened he'd shoot us if he ever saw us back down there again. And like that was the last time that we ended up playing paintball down in the creek bed. Now, did we sneak back there maybe one or two more times than we should have afterwards? Yes. But like that was that. I won't lie, man. Like I miss those days.
When
Do kids
Wonky
even do that
paintball
stuff
tournament.
anymore? That's a great
Yeah,
question.
or at least I did in middle school, high school, growing
But I
up.
mean, do they anymore? Like that's the question. Do they go outside? Do they do things like that? Like,
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm I'm 98, so I was right at that age where we actually played outside, but then 2-3 years after me, they stopped playing outside, so I'm not too sure.
That's funny, man. Hey, by the way, another thing that I just got reminded of by seeing Flip's name up here. So I'm sure y'all know LedgArt Status and his project that he started up called Flip XYZ. They're giving away 2 big pudgies sometime the next week or 2, I think. I'm not sure exactly when. But basically, you just have to make a purchase. You can make any purchase. I don't know if they have a stipulation on exactly what the size has to be, but I'm pretty sure you could even just buy like a couple Wonky Stonks, right? Like, something as small as that. And, there's a code that they'll give you, and you're literally just entered, for the drawing for the big pudgies. So just an FYI, a little bit of alpha there. If you're trying to buy something anyway, you may as well enter yourself into it. And if I'm being honest with it, I really don't know what type of reception they've had as far as like entries and stuff so far. So it's something worth looking into. I would just go to Flip/LedgArt Status's page, like search that. You'll find the promo giveaway details. And again, like this is kind of sad to say, but like, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know how well it's been marketed, so I don't know how many entries there truly are, and you might actually have a decent chance of winning.
I love Flip. I've been using it the past 2 weeks. That's how. And you're right. I entered by just grabbing a couple. Actually, I entered by getting the Stonks first, and then I got Pudgies, and I actually have only been using Flip to buy for the past few weeks. It's super easy. I'm still learning, so it's been it's been great.
Well, I love to hear that. Love to hear that it's doing all right. And but yeah, just figured I'd give a shout out to that because again, if you're talking about bigger potential winnings and wanting to, get a chance for something like that, and you're planning on doing a small purchase for something anyway in the NFT space, you may as well do it. And no, I'm not sponsored by Flip. I just like Ledger and I like the Pudgies and I like you guys. So why not share it? I nearly just dropped one of my earbuds in the laundry machine. Thankfully, I saved it. But y'all, I love you guys, and this has been a good space. We've actually been going for, it's been a couple hours now. And again, that's the thing I really love about these spaces when there's not really pressure to do a rundown of the market or anything else. The conversation just kind of leads anywhere. And that's kind of fun. It's kind of relaxing to be able to have combos like that, and you get to, be a little bit closer to people. Flip, what's up, man? I see the hand up.
Hey, Cleo. One more question for me. I know you're trying to run around, but what are your thoughts on the true Pengu drop with the soulbound token for the Pudgy holders?
Sorry, I was muted. I'm curious to see what they do with it, man. I still am trying to grasp. I think it's really cool, but I'm still trying to grasp the application of soulbound tokens and what can really be done with them and where they go. But I'm really hyped about it because again, I haven't really seen any other projects do it, so I'm really curious to see where they take it from here. So I'm excited about it, but honestly, as far as the mechanics of what it can open up, I'm not quite positive of yet. So that's the only thing that might curb it a little bit. But I do love seeing what they're doing there, and we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool just because you can. It's like an extra layer of being able to token gate something, right? And in this instance, these tokens are stuck to the wallet. So, really, the only way for it to change hands would be to actually swap wallets and have give someone your private key, and so it's just most likely going to stay in the same hands. So, we're still in such a a young and growing space. So as time goes on, I think things like this will become more and more valuable, just because it is kind of like it's just something that is kind of frozen in time and kind of proves something. But it is really cool to see that that's what the team kind of the direction they went, and they did hint at a couple games coming and also a token coming out, and I really like the approach they're taking, and excited to see where it goes.
Bog, what do you know about it? I think Bog's them. I'm bringing up one other person, sexparty.eth. Sexparty.eth. What do you know about the SBTs? I'm sorry, it's tough to keep it a straight face.
Thank you for bringing me up. I just heard about the soulbound token talk, so I just wanted to add in a little bit about it. I'm not sure what the Pudgy Penguins have planned for it in the future, but basically some guy wrote a post about it, a thread where he was mentioning that these can be used to maybe in the future give out degrees or diplomas to people. That can be a good use case for them, and maybe driving licenses and stuff like that. So that can be one implementation of them in the future. But for the project, I got one of the true Pengu tokens, where we get that by holding the three NFTs in the same wallet of the same number. So So yeah, that is what I just wanted to say.
So wait, there was a gold one, right?
There were like
Somebody.
there were like three. The ice one was basically the one where you get when you hold three of the same items of the same unit number, and then there was another one that was for holding like the little one and the penguin, and then there was one that you get only for holding like the penguin. So I think it was that. So gold, bronze, and I think ice one, if I'm not mistaken.
So I was gonna say I got a true Pengu. Which one is the true Pengu iridescent?
I think all of them are true Pengu, but the difference between them is like the gold, bronze, and ice. So the ice true Pengu is the one where you have all the three, and then the bronze one is different, and then the gold one is different. But they all are named true Pengu, but they're differentiated.
But are they all named iridescent? Or let's see. Okay, there's ice, iridescent, and gold.
Yeah, so there's an article they had, but the gold one is just having the OG penguin in a unique wallet. The iridescent one is having the matching serial number of the big and the little, and then the ice is having 3 matching serial numbers for the big, little, and the rog.
Oh, see, and I did not have the rog, man. That's where I messed up. I didn't have any rog, but I didn't know that I had matching serial numbers. Damn, do I really?
Oh
Because I
wow!
Yeah,
have an iridescent.
yeah, you probably a guy who was selling at the same time, and you bought a bunch, so that makes sense.
Like, let me see real quick. I'm actually kind of curious now whether or not I do. I mean, I guess I have to, right?
Yes,
If
like
that's the
because if you wouldn't have, then you wouldn't have gotten that one, right? So probably you have like a big penguin and like the little one of the same unit number.
dude, what are the odds that I accidentally scoop it up like that? That's kind of crazy, man. Kind of crazy.
That is
So,
crazy, but then again, you scooped up like a lot of penguins, right? Like you have, like you are slowly becoming like a big whale in the community.
oh, I mean, I'm not there yet, man. I think I'm only like barely in the top 50 for the Lils, and like I'm only in like at the moment like the top 200 for the big pudgies. I'm just slowly there. I don't know. Like if I'm probably I need to scoop up like at least another four in the next week or so, and I think I don't know. I'm tempted to scoop up like another eight to put myself in the top 50, but we'll see. I'm just slowly doing it, man. It's just one of those things. As long as they last in this range, I'm just slowly doing it because for me, it's not like a hype. It has to happen overnight thing. I'm just going to buy everything at once. For me, it's part of exercising discipline and just, slowly accumulating within a project and just being patient. So we'll see. Whatever happens, as long as like the floor stays underneath 3 ETH, I'll probably just keep stacking.
Can I just add sexparty.eth? You have a better .eth name in brainfart.eth. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Basically, this sexparty.eth was not my idea. It was one of the guys who I partnered up with. So that is why I'm just representing it here. But brain fart is something which is close to my heart, and that is what I like to represent always. But yeah, so just for the sake of business partnership, I need to represent, right?
I would just like to say congratulations because they're great.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was just something that popped into my head, like just like might be something in the future. Like it is good for getting people's attention and maybe good for like catching eyes and all of that. So
Bro, I'm still just trying to figure out what my matching pudgy set is right now. I'm really, really actually curious.
In the meantime, if you guys,
The easiest way to do it, because I was doing this last week, just go on OpenSea, sort by collection, and then just I mean, it's only 3 numbers since you have like 3 pudgies. You can just type in the
Well,
number.
it was 4
It'll
pudgies
pop.
by the time I did it, so I think it was 4 pudgies, and that yeah. So I'm just looking through it. It'll take me just a minute. We'll figure it out. But I'm up to 6 pudgies now, Bog. I'm not your level with 30, but
Oh,
like
whoa.
I do have 6 now.
Let's go. Yeah, I bought another 10 little pudgies during this because I couldn't help myself. I'm going to get to about 3 or 4. I was thinking.
You're going to get to 3 or 4 what?
Like, they're going to, they were going to decrease, but I'm going to get to like 300 or 400 little pudgies,
bro,
I think.
You're
cutting. I just don't get that too long.
300 or 400 little pudgies, bro? Don't
9x9 has like 9. Yeah, 9x9 has like 700. Yeah, I think I have like 150 right now, somewhere around there.
What's the story behind 9x9?
He was just like a Chinese DeFi whale. There's not a lot known about him. He just came in last October and he bought like 200 penguins and he bought the one of one banana penguin. And he just was like a gigantic Chad. And I think he owns all the one of one doodles too. But I don't really know much. I don't think anyone knows much about the guy unless Flip. Is there anything
and
like
he's just held?
Yeah, he's just held. He had some kind of crazy thesis. Like he wrote a thread last year where he's just like, yeah, he was far. I mean, that's when he was making a ton off Aave, and he was just using the proceeds to buy NFTs last year.
Yeah, mystery whale. I just checked little pudgy holders, and I think he has like 600 or 700, and just total diamond hand, and so definitely good to have him on board.
Yeah, no joke. When you've got somebody that's like scooped up that many, how do I get him to buy the stonks? Like, that's the question. How do we convince, get him to see the meme potential in the stonks? Also, I just need a thread from him, and like scooping up another couple hundred will be good to go. That's awesome.
I wanted to take this time out to congratulate Cube on not getting rugged for consecutive spaces. Voice sounds so clear.
I appreciate that, Easel. It took a lot of hard work building a trampoline for my 4-year-old. It's the only reason why I didn't get rugged today. So, major win. I appreciate that. And T has been carrying that banner here lately. I think T's at work right now. But, yeah, glad to pass the buck there.
Okay, and are y'all sure about the whole iridescent token thing? I don't have any matching big and littles. I'm just saying, I've got bigs and I've got littles, but I don't have any matching serial numbers. I think that it had to have been not matching, but just do you own like a big and a little, right? Like that had to have been what it was.
Serials. It was matching serials for sure. So if you don't have matching, you got lucky.
Yeah, because I don't have matching. Like I'm looking through here in my wallet, I'm fairly positive I don't have matching, and I still have True Pingo Iridescent.
Have you given any pudgies away or little pudgies away?
No, I haven't given anything away. I've just kept them.
Okay, I just found out. Okay, so the thing is, like, it doesn't have to be matching. So let me just like read out the context, right? So holders who own a pudgy penguin and a little pudgy at the time of the snapshot received the iridescent True Pengu soulbound token. So it doesn't have to be like the same ID.
Okay.
So it is any pudgy and a little pudgy, and the gold one is just owning like a pudgy penguin. But the only one like the ice True Pengu is owning a pudgy penguin, little penguin, and the pudgy rod with the same ID. So I think that is the only criteria for the ice one. Yeah.
So for that one, you had to have the same with all three to get the ice.
Yes, and like all three in the same wallet. I know there was this one guy who had taken out his penguin for the for like staking in like the battle town for 10 KTF, and he wasn't able to get the ice token because they were not all in the same wallet. But
bro, that's
he had
crazy.
all of them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, good to know. It'll be interesting to see how the soulbound shit works, and what ends up playing out with it. Very interesting stuff. The funny thing is I meant to end this space like 30 minutes ago, and somehow I don't even know how we ended up continuing on the conversation. So, but no, I do actually end up having to go. I've got to finish my packing and get wrapped up and get ready to get on the road. But it's been a great space as always. Appreciate everybody from all the communities coming. Buy the stonks. Enjoy your weekend, and take it easy until next time.
Peace
Have
later,
a good
everyone.
weekend, Cleo.